Police beef up security in Abuja as Labour solidarity protest with ASU continues. NEMA receives another batch of 175 stranded Nigerians from Libya. How Nigerians cope with digital age. And on the foreign scene, 4 killed as 7.1 magnitude quake hits Luzon Island in Philippines. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now the details. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, on Wednesday continued its protest in Abuja over the prolonged strike by university workers across the country. This comes a day after a similar demonstration held in various states of the Federation, except in the Federal Capital Territory. The protest began after members of the NLC leadership and leaders of various affiliated unions, as well as members, converged on the Unity Fountain in the nation's capital. Among those physically present were the NLC President, Ayuba Waba, ASU President, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, and the immediate past President of the Academic Union, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, and Shehu Sani, former Kaduna State Senator. There was a heavy security presence at the venue of the protest, mostly made up of personnel of the Nigeria Police. Speaking at the Unity Fountain, Waba said this is the first phase, adding that the second phase is the 3-day national strike.
Similar rally to say that we are a very credible organization and that we need to reset the country. So we are resetting the country to make sure that our leaders do what is right. I want to salute all our unions for being on strike for 5 months, some 3 months. Their salary has been stopped. It is criminal to stop the salary of a worker whose only fault is to demand that a collective bargaining agreement validly signed should be respected. In other climes, it is even the workers that will actually deploy no pay, no work. But shamelessly, they deploy no pay, no work, no pay. Nowhere in the law that I know, under the ILO conventions that guides industrial relations globally, do you have such a draconian law. We thank governors because some of them spoke yesterday to say that they will not stop the salary of their state university workers. We commend them, and we commend those governors that came out openly also to support what is happening, because they realize leadership is about taking responsibility, not about complaining. Leadership is about finding solution, not about giving excuse. We are tired of excuse. We are tired of lamentation. We want solution. We want the issues to be fixed. That is why we are here, comrades. And therefore, we must be ready. We must be ready. This is just the first phase. The second phase, which we are aware, is the 3-day national strike.
Meanwhile, in the southwest region, the organized labor on Tuesday held protests across the country in solidarity with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, over the lingering strike. ASU has been on strike for over 4 months, crippling academic activities in the nation's public tertiary institutions. The report.
In Lagos State, members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and other affiliate unions converged at Ikeja Underbridge, from where they marched to the State House Alausa. Some of the unions present were NUPENG, NASU, ASU, and the NUT.
Today is an historical occasion. Yes, we are here all making history. We are in the process of reclaiming our country. Solidarity forever.
In Kwara State, the Nigerian Labour Congress and its affiliate unions staged a protest from the Labour House in Ilorin to some major streets in the state capital. The protesters called on the federal government to attend to the needs of the university workers and allow the university system to run seamlessly. Chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Kwara State, Isa Ore, said that the Labour will declare a 3-day strike should the federal government refuse to address the demands of the university workers.
The problem is that there was an agreement between the ASU and others in the university, between the federal government and the universities for over 2 or 1.5 years now. And up to now, the federal government are yet to implement what they are signed for.
Today, government is practicing what we describe as neoliberalizations of the educational system, making sure that children of the poor will not have access to quality education. And as a symbolic sign, the Nigerian Labour has decided to come and make a voice to support the struggle of ASUU towards ensuring that we have a better educational system in the country.
In Osun State, the protesters moved from the Ogwoluwa area of Oshogbo, the state capital, to the State House of Assembly in support of ASUU. Police and operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps stayed with the protesters to prevent a breakdown of law and order.
The significance of this protest is that we want the ills in the educational sector of Nigeria to be corrected. The situation whereby our political actors are sending their children abroad and the children of the poor masses are residents in Nigeria hoping that they will get better education in Nigeria is being dashed, is no longer acceptable. It's a no-no. Anybody that's coming to a political office should be ready and be prepared to allow their children to school in Nigeria so that adequate funding will be provided. Adequate funding and equipment will be provided in the various institutions. That is the essence of the protest of today.
Now, following the federal government's shutdown order, schools within the FCT are preparing to halt academic activities despite the ongoing National Examination Council NECO test for senior secondary schools, as well as terminal examinations by other students. Musa Luka tells us more.
Insecurity in Nigeria has been the major challenge for almost all sectors in the country, with education not spared. With the order affecting both public and private secondary schools, education in FCT will be brought to total halt as Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU has been on strike for over 5 months. This follows intelligent report of threat to some schools within FCT and the attack in Buhari area of the Federal Capital Territory. A visit to some schools within FCT revealed that students who ought to be writing NECO were in school but not participating in the exams, while principal officers declined comment. At the junior secondary school Wuse Zone 3, the principal, Olukemi Adebimpe, agreed that the safety of lives comes before education, hence the need to hold academic activities.
The security of the children is more important than what we are, is more important, and that is why the federal government said that all schools should close latest Wednesday, 27th July. By next week, Wednesday, we are supposed to close for the session. So these few days, about let me say about 5 days, it's only 5 days now that we are missing. If we close tomorrow, Wednesday, we are having Thursday, Friday, then Wednesday next week we are supposed to close for the session. So that 5 days cannot affect the school calendar. So everything will be okay, whatever and I don't think anything there's not going to be any adverse effect on the learners, because already we have finished our syllabus, we have finished, it's just for them to write exam, and which the only thing is the stress on the students, because we have to increase the number of subjects they write daily.
While these schools take a break over insecurity, one question that Nigeria are asking is what will government do differently to change the security situation before the students resume to school? Musa Luka, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has received another batch of 175 stranded Nigerians from Libya. Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed, represented by the Acting Coordinator of Lagos Territory Office of the agency, Ibrahim Farinloye, confirmed the development in Lagos. Farinloye said that the returnees, 77 males, 64 females, 23 children and 11 infants, were received at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos. He said that among the returnees, 2 females and 2 males had medical issues. He enjoined the returnees to turn a new leaf in their lives and access the ample opportunities bestowed on the country. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Osun State Command, has arrested a 40-year-old man for allegedly defrauding 4 people in the state to the tune of 570,000 naira. The commandant of the NSCDC in the state, Sunday Agbola Adisa, said the arrest followed reports from victims of his fraudulent act. The NSCDC commandant said investigations revealed that the suspect truly defrauded the complainants and assured that he will be charged to court.
He swung into action and they ensured that he was caught and brought to our office for further investigation, and he has confessed to commit the offense.
How many people?
4 people. 4 people.
12?
4 people.
How much?
570,000.
Okay, tell us why you decided to do that.
I am not happy of what I have done, and I'm very disappointed in myself. So there's nothing I can say here that can justify my actions. Then I'm regret of my actions.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, meeting demand gaps for eggs and meat. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Police beef up security in Abuja as Labour solidarity protest with ASU continues. And NEMA receives another batch of 175 stranded Nigerians from Libya. Moving on to other news now, ahead of the Sunday 31st July deadline for the continuous voter registration exercise across the country, prospective registrants are lamenting shortage of personnel and machines, among other anomalies at registration centres within the Federal Capital Territory. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu, who visited some newly created centres in the FCT, reports that registrants fear that they may not be captured before the suspension of the CVR exercise, as more people try to use the last few days to get registered. The report.
The last-minute rush that comes with the news of suspension of the CVR exercise has also come with a surge that is almost overwhelming for INEC officials and security operatives. Prospective registrants complain of unfair treatment by officials and worry that this may end with the unfortunate news of them not being able to be captured within the last few days.
Look at the whole population, the population of more than 200 people. You can see only 2 laptops. It's one person is doing registration, the other person is doing capturing. And the person is not even sitting down on his chair. He will be stuck sitting, go and buy granite outside, go and sit down, go and make up. They are not serious.
Okay. I've been here for 1 week trying to struggle to register. I told you this thing. Most people have been here since 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. They haven't done theirs. I said it's based on familiarity now.
To address some of the challenges, the INEC FCT Resident Electoral Commissioner Yahya Bello at an earlier press conference had noted that since the initial extension of the deadline, the Commission had created more centers, mobilized more machines and personnel.
he approved, extra personnel to man these machines, and also approved that we open so many other centers so that it will ease the congestion.
But to these registrants, the situation remains the same.
We'll be there since so though. Some people will just come in with their convoy, they'll let them in. And we don't know how it's happening. Okay, they said they want to start with the list. We wrote our names. Okay, let's do it orderliness. Before you know, they'll open the gate for people with convoy, they'll go in. And the rest, you see them start voting, they're out. They'll start doing their voters card for them, they're out. Registration center close to our area, we have been there and they are not more working there. And people that have been going there, they say the crowd is too much and the machines are few. Okay, look at us now that we are here. How can one person be attending to 500 people?
We, since morning, some people left their work, left everything. Just have to sacrifice a day. My own is not even a day, 1 week. Kubwa, no. Duse, no. Central area, they have to divert that waiting now. Even the fuel itself, they increase it, but yet we are still blowing left and right.
The CVR exercise, in spite of the many challenges, continues till its suspension on the 31st of July 2022. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, legal practitioners expressed divergent opinions over the disagreement between the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and some political parties on the provisions of the new Electoral Act on matters regarding nomination of candidates. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports that while the nation's electoral umpire remains firm on its resolve to adhere to the provisions of the Act, the political parties are mounting pressure on INEC to accept their candidates. The report.
Section 81, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022 empowers INEC to monitor the conduct of political parties' primary. The electoral umpire also relies on its monitoring department to build a data bank of candidates that emerge through valid political party primaries.
The position of Section 115, subsection D of the Electoral Act is unambiguously very clear.
The entire process
prohibits the possibility of you to be a dual candidate in two electoral experiments.
Because I've said that what constitutes nomination is winning the primaries of a political party. Once you win, you are validly nominated by that process, and therefore you are the validly nominated candidate of the party.
While Section 29, subsection 1 of the same electoral law says only the names of validly nominated candidates should find their way into INEC office. Some political parties are bent at substituting already nominated candidates in what is perceived to be at variance with the provision of the law.
Section 33 of the Electoral Act provides, and I quote, it says a political party shall not be allowed to change or substitute its candidate whose name has been submitted under Section 29 of this Act, except in the case of death or withdrawal by the candidate.
If it comes to the issue of making a decision out of it, there is a body that the governance system or our own state system has given that authority and that power, and that is the court.
The courts have already started pronouncing in favor of the position of INEC. The position of INEC is very simple. Under sections 31, 32 down to 34, there are only 2 instances where you can change a candidate as a political party.
The Independent National Electoral Commission is however resolute in its decision to accept only candidates that emerge through acceptable party primaries.
This particular commission is courageous, this particular commission is focused, and we are resolute in terms of our decision to conduct a good election in 2023.
Stakeholders in the polity are of the opinion that political actors should submit themselves to the provisions of the law, even if it's not in their favor, in order not to overheat the polity and undermine the citizens' confidence in the electoral process. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Another pilgrim on this year's Hajj exercise has died in the Holy Land. Executive Secretary of the Niger State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Umar Lapai, on Wednesday, identified the pilgrim as Mamman Nasiru Zungeru from Wushishi local government area. Now, according to the Executive Secretary, burial prayers and rites for the pilgrim will be conducted by Saudi authorities. This brings to 5 the number of Nigerians who have died while participating in the 2022 pilgrimage. Now, earlier, we spoke to the Executive Secretary of the Niger State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Umar Lapai, about the 2022 Hajj.
Possible for us to be part of this exercise, especially Niger State pilgrims who are all set to be attended to by National Commission of Nigeria in terms of the health. The entire process was supposed to take place in Mina, and we have a letter to that effect. But for reasons best known to Hajj Commission, which was not communicated to us in writing, the letter carried our pilgrims to Mina. That emergency situation exposed us to a lot of hardship, undue expenditure, undue security threat, and challenges. But however, we give glory to Allah that at the end of the day, all our pilgrims were buried in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and we all perform this exercise as ordained by Allah. Having done that, we are now waiting patiently to be given signal for the movement of pilgrims in line with the established convention of Hajj. That we have waited for. But as a proactive state and good planners, we have engaged the services of the airliners to commence the screening of the strategic back so that we can combat the one that go of heart failure. He was diseasing since arrival, and just so diagnosed him of having heart-related disease, which have been managing him in the national hospital, and later the hospital, and he was later placed on oxygen for about 24 hours, and he later died. The viral rate for the disease is been arranged. Islamic Rite in the Holy Kaaba, we have assigned ourselves to go and find out the collection of the cup for transmission to the Holy Mosque for prayers between Maghrib and Isha time. They are there, and the cups will be released to them in the next 2-3 hours, and it will not be matured for after prayer, but his cups will be matured for Janaza between Maghrib and Isha, inshallah. And as soon as we do that, we'll communicate to you. As far as I'm concerned, all my pilgrims were enlisted, but I sympathize with other states whose pilgrims were not enlisted. And we want to have a committee to sit down, explain the concerning challenging situation. Why does it happen that way? We want to diagnose the issue, we are going to explain it, we are going to try it, and we are coming out with a result. Whoever is involved is having cogs to this to be brought to book. Because for 2 years, these people have not performed right, they have spent their money, they have wasted their time, they have psychological trauma, and somebody somewhere frustrated because we want that person to be brought to book. Let it come and explain to the nation why this calamity before this innocent prison. The entire process is not very interesting, because as of today we have almost when the community reality of the prison, and they are just lingering between 18 to 15,000. Meaning they are taking only 1,000 prisons per day. And if that is the case, and we have 40,000 prisons, meaning we have to suffer. Why should that be? That we need to look into it as well. The electoral process is poor, and the return journey is poor. We are not satisfied, we are not convinced with the performance of the elite. And what something to be done urgently, remove these prisons out of this country before they have finished their Hajj, before they become a problem to the nation or to their state. Now we have asked the Commission to give us a schedule on the movement of pilgrims to Medina. They are yet to give us. Give us a schedule of pilgrims out of Medina to Jeddah. We are yet to be informed. In addition, in Niger State, we are supposed to fly out of Mina Airport. As approved by NCAA, we were not allowed to fly out of Mina. Now we are asking that we should fly back to Mina. And any attempt to rob us of that.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says Nigeria is the largest producer of eggs and is the second largest producer of chicken meat in Africa. Nevertheless, it is not meeting up with the demand for eggs and meat. The governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele, revealed this during the official commissioning of an integrated commercial poultry farm in Ilorin, Kwara State. Emefiele said the gap had led to the importation of unhealthy frozen chicken into the country.
To correct the situation, the central bank has initiated programs to partner with stakeholders to ensure local production and breeding of chicken.
Chicken meat in Africa. Demand gap for eggs and meat stands at an outstretched currently and at an outstretched current supply by 1.2 million metric tons and 140,000 metric tons for meat and eggs respectively. Over the years, this demand gap has driven the smuggling of unhealthy frozen chicken into the country. To close this gap, the Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced various intervention schemes focused on boosting poultry production, creating decent jobs, fostering innovation in the poultry subsector. One of such schemes is the tertiary institutions.
The Kwara State government assured of its readiness to support and collaborate with others in the agriculture sector, ensure healthy meat and eggs consumption. The Olofa of Ofa challenged the agricultural sector to come up with research on how to produce and deliver healthy chicken.
Exciting to note that Kwara State is committed to maintain conducive environment for agriculture and particularly for livestock production. We are reiterating the support of our administration in livestock production in Ilorin.
This project will further compel our scholars to dive deeper into researching more sustainable ways to improve the value chain. The scholars' invention could prove to be the panacea to combat and defeat various challenges faced in delivering quality protein to Nigeria. From a nutritional point of view,
Now for a look at the foreign scene, where a powerful 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck the northern Philippine island of Luzon on Wednesday, killing 4 people, injuring 60 and a number of buildings damaged, while sending strong tremors through the capital, Manila. The quake struck about 11 kilometers southeast of the town of Dolores at a shallow depth of 10 kilometers, according to a U.S. Geological Survey data. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.